For the next 2 months, we're going to be talking about prepping. It's the big thing that's Googled right now. And what we're going to do every single episode is we're going to have this handy dandy spinner right here beside all of us. And what I'm going to do is we'll click on it, and that will decide our topic for the night that we talk about. And this is for the next 9 weeks. So, Anne, can you give me like a 3, 2, 1, and I'll press the button?
Okay, let's get ready to rumble. 3, 2, 1, boop. Let's go. Let's see what our topic is tonight. Isn't that going to be fun? Figure it out.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not one that was expected. That's for sure.
That wasn't.
It was not expected. No, and I've never incubated eggs before. However,
Really?
no, I do have an egg incubator. Thanks to a friendly person that's in the chat, I have an egg incubator down here beside me, and I need to incubate some eggs because my girls are getting older. We only have 4, and I would like.
Yeah, but you have a boy. Do you have a rooster?
No.
I don't have a boy. So Casey's going to send me some eggs, and somebody will send me some eggs, and we'll get those.
Just put out the call. All you have to do is say, "I'm ready for eggs, y'all. Who wants to send me some?" And then just watch the eggs come flooding in.
Anne's going to have like 60 eggs to incubate now.
There was somebody that did that.
12.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Anne, I will send you as many eggs as you want.
Okay, buddy.
Come March, my girls in both my egg layers and my meat chicken side, my American breasts, they're like, "Hey, Dad, BTW, I'm going to start laying like 7 dozen a day. Are you ready?"
Yeah.
And I never am.
I need to come get some so bad. I want to get some of those American brass eggs. I need.
No, we did an incubating eggs episode. The 4 of us did it. I think maybe 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
I love incubating eggs. So Anne has not. I have incubated many eggs.
I'm sure
Monica, I know you have because you do it on the regs.
Going on all the time, 24/7. Just
I accidentally incubated that emu egg from Jake. Jake's like, "Take the egg," and I was like, "I don't want the
accidental." Egg. Are we saying accidental?
No, it literally was accidental. He handed us the egg, and Eric was like, "Oh yeah, we'll take it," and I was like, "Well," and he's like, Jake was like, "My incubators are full. Just put it in your incubator." The problem is the emu eggs are not like turkey and chicken and duck eggs, right? They have, or goose eggs, right? When you put those other eggs in, they have special. Oh, look at that, Jersey Dolphins. That's so sweet.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that. But they have specific times. So when you put some duck eggs in, in 28 days, you're going to have hatchlings, right? You're going to have little baby ducks. Or chickens, 21 days. If you're dealing with goslings and all the other ones, you're going to look at that 28 to 32, 35 days, depending on when it is, right? No, emus, they still can't tell you for sure. They can say around 65 days. Oh, you do research and they're like, could be 65, could be 68, could be 60. They still can't tell you for sure. Like they just can't. So you just got to put it in and hope for the best.
Oh my goodness. So Sandi, thank you, Belt Lou. That's so sweet, Gary. Thank you. Sandi, you have incubated eggs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple different kinds of incubators. I have a big one that's made out of styrofoam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it has the element and the racks and it rotates them all by themselves. Then I have this new one that I haven't used yet. And I'm so sad that I'm not up in Wyoming because I have an extra one and we could have given it away.
Oh, that's so
we'll have to do that later when I get back to Wyoming.
Let me tell you, incubating is so fun. And I saw that message from Penny Ortiz that she wants to learn everything on this topic. Let me tell you, it is probably the most fun homesteading activity that you can do. Now, there are a couple pointers that you really do need to make sure you listen in, taking notes kind of thing, because I decided I wanted to incubate here at this new homestead. and I didn't follow even some of my rules that I was saying on the video, and my hatch rate was
Way down.
It was way down.
Yeah.
Like, what you want to make sure that you do, they have to make sure that they rotate. You got to make sure the humidity is right and the temperature is right.
Right.
If those are good, then you will have a good hatch rate. Because yes, 100%. If you have those
but
three,
you don't have to like agonize about it. Okay.
No.
So like it's just important to be watching it, but don't like lose your junk if the humidity was way off one day and you were like, oh no, just
most of my junk is right on the edge these days. So I don't know.
All right, Casey, keep finishing what you're saying though.
No, I'm still talking about Miss Ann's junk being on the edge. But no, with the humidity was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the incubators now have the turner, the automatic turner that's in it. So you don't have to worry about that part. And I don't have to worry about that part. Mine actually turns. Also, now correct me if I'm wrong, because my numbers may be a little off, Sandi and Monica. But once a male rooster, because I'm going to say it, this is very controversial. To have fertile eggs, you have to have a hen, you have to have a rooster. You cannot, there is no two hens don't make a fertile egg. Two roosters, you don't have any eggs. So you
How
need.
was that controversial? I'm sorry. How was that controversial?
Monica, you'd be surprised. We probably still are going to get some comments, but you need a rooster, you need a hen. Okay.
Thanks.
When you see that rooster do his thing to the hen, it can last up to 2 weeks. So once you see him on there, 14 days is what I've been told. Is it correct? We're being serious, Monica. It's 14 days that egg should be fertile. Every egg that chicken lays should be somewhat fertile for the 14 days.
So I've heard
14 days from
the thing when they've done it.
So let's just say I have hens and I have hens and I have roosters, and my rooster gets gone because a dog attacks, which has happened here. I had a rooster just disappear. He was protecting some lady friends of his. He got gone. 2 of his ladies were gone, and there was 3 or 4 ladies left. I proceeded to collect those eggs for the next 10 to 14 days. And I actually collected for 10 because I heard your hatch rate, it was better at 10 days, that first 10 days.
10
and
days,
I wasn't sure about the full 14. But yes, 10 to 14 is what I had heard. 14 is like the stretchest of what, but that solid 10 days, I knew I was getting fertile eggs. And I had actually cracked a few to test to see they were still fertile 10 days later. So it gives you time to grab up those eggs because my boy was amazing. And I wanted his.
Mine is,
He was so great, and I wanted his bloodline. If that, so yeah, it wasn't KFC. It was some fox got to it, but he lived a good life, and he went out fighting. You could tell he went out fighting. He got KO'd, is what I guess.
Okay,
you got your instructions, Miss Ann. Do you have a little round one, or do you have?
This is the stickers
That's
to
the
tell
timeline,
you like the 21 days. I guess you mark them. I don't know. Jesse just put in there, read the instructions, Miss Ann.
Is there a picture of it right there on the front, Miss Ann? Oh yeah, look at that one.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one.
And you can keep the styrofoam outside thing. You can put it in there as well. I understand. But it looks like it's an automatic turner.
Yeah, most of them are these days.
Yeah.
And online, it says that some can last up to 3 weeks.
Okay.
That
fertilization.
He did
fertilization
the
inside the hen.
Hard.
Yeah.
Can sometimes, and I think that varies with chickens too.
Yeah.
Okay. With the breed,
like how old your chickens are, maybe. How often they lay eggs.
Right.
Maybe how hardy your rooster is.
Now, let me tell you, speaking of hardy, my American breast rooster. So my American breast, they're named the Jacksons. Because they're my baby mama, baby daddies for my meat chickens. And Michael Jackson is the baby daddy. He is my rooster. When I tell you he is a good rooster because he will not leave them ladies alone. When I say he has 7 girlfriends and he hangs out with all 7 girlfriends the same amount of time every single day. So I know the eggs that I get from the girls are going to be fertile. Now, my
Okay.
egg layers, sometime Andy wants to be like, hey, I'm on vacation. I don't really want to deal with these women today. So I'm just going to chill up. So I don't always know if those eggs, but if you see it, if you see
He has a harem.
The thing.
the thing, you know that you have 10 to 14 to possibly 3 weeks, depending on the chicken, of fertile eggs, even if that rooster meets Jesus by accident.
Yeah,
Okay,
my kids always say they're doing their business. You can
Yeah.
see them when they're
Okay.
doing their business over
You
there.
very much can.
I don't have a rooster, so I won't be seeing any business anywhere. But
No.
Yeah.
when I will get some fertile
Mhm.
eggs from somebody that
Mhm.
has some boys.
Mhm.
And, when we get our eggs from the coop, we set them on the kitchen table for
Hmm?
weeks, really, before we eat them. Do you have to, when you get them, do you have to put them right in an incubator if you're going to incubate those eggs?
I do 10 days. No more than 10 days.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that's
some chick hens are
Mhm.
very they like to sit on the eggs.
Yeah.
So if you got one that's like that, take advantage of it. If you can't put them in the
Mhm.
incubator right away, you could just put those eggs under her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some mamas go broody, and if you see a broody
Yeah.
mama, you take full
Mhm.
advantage of her.
Yep.
You're like, oh, hey,
Well,
you want to do this? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. So
Well,
immediately she's on welfare, and I feed her in her coop. Like I
Well,
just,
it's been a number of years that we've had these girls, and nobody sat on any eggs. They're
Yeah.
like, bloop, okay, it's yours. So, I
Yeah.
don't know that they would.
And when you go to do your first set of incubated eggs, the one thing I would, you got your humidity, you got your all of that stuff, but don't take those chicks out too early.
mm-mm.
There are people that take them out. They've just hatched and they want to hold them.
Yeah.
You're probably going to kill that little chick. Let them stay in there for a little bit. They're
Okay.
all wet and you know,
Yucky.
Okay. And Tamara's saying, at what point do you candle the eggs to see what's going on? Make sure that you know, they're really viable.
I do 6 days. I don't know
I
about
was going
y'all.
to say 7. So
So
yeah,
I go about 10 days because I do a lot of turkeys, and
Oh, yeah.
turkeys are very hard to see really
Very.
early. I got a solid 10, and sometimes if I see no movement, I've got to see a very obvious ring of death before I throw an egg out. A
right.
ring of death is when you hold up an egg, you'll see a very clear in the egg, you'll see a ring that will show. Yeah. So there's different ways to look. And there's like almost like this red outline. And it almost looks like just a ring and it's empty. It's like nothing inside, or there's a black spot inside. You'll know when you see it. You could even Google, incubating, or looking at eggs and just ring of death, and you'll see it's very obvious when it's there. But if I don't see that, I usually keep them in there a lot longer because I just
Me
want to
too.
make sure.
Okay.
And some
Now,
darker eggs are really hard to see, and so that's one of those things you have to be mindful of. If you have a darker shell, you may not be able to candle and see very adequately.
Really?
I mean, I've had really dark, like the cuckoo Moran, like you have a real dark Moran egg, you really can't see inside those eggs. They're really
Right.
hard to see inside. You just have to set it and walk away and say, you're going to do great. And 21 days later, come back and
Yeah.
Thanks,
Now,
Carrie. Love to you too.
and I'll tell you, probably the newer of the 3 of us that have incubated eggs, when you candle it for the first time, I was so nervous. I even called Monica like all the time. I was like,
I'm
what
gonna have
am
to
I?
FaceTime you guys. You're gonna
What am I
be
looking
ready.
for? No,
Yeah.
you will know, Anne. There,
Yeah.
you'll see this little speck.
it's
Um,
magical. It's so
It's
magical.
so magical, and then you see veins coming from the speck out,
And you see the little heart
Oh my
beating.
and you
god.
can see it pulse.
You
And
see the little
my
heart.
gosh.
Yeah.
and see, I'm like Monica.
Mhm.
So if I don't see that, so if I see that at 6 days, I go ahead and I put a check mark on the top of the egg,
Absolutely.
just because I want to know going forward that yes, that egg is definitely fertile. It's growing a baby. If I'm
Okay.
questionable, I'll put a circle in it. And that means I'm going to go check it maybe 10, maybe 12 days to see if I see something in there. A lot of the times at 10 and 12 days, you can actually start seeing a body that's in there. Now it's more of a shadow, so you
It's
can't necessarily see the body full.
But you'll see it move and like
And then you check it again. If I see just empty red air, I know that it's probably not fertile. I'll put an X on it, but I'll check it again in a couple days. I don't leave it past 10 days in there only because if there's a crack, the
It's gonna be
smell
bad.
is
Yeah.
awful. You have it in 100-degree temperature of an egg. It smells, it's just awful. I'll leave it at that.
So Ann Philbeck says, "What life rate is an incubator?"
I
I'm
don't know
not
what that means.
exactly
Oh,
sure what you mean. Do you know, Sandy, what she
I
means?
think she's asking how long will your incubator last?
Oh,
Like my styrofoam one, I bet you I have had that for 18 years.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was gonna say I have a styrofoam one that was given to me by a friend of mine, and it's probably about 15 years old. And then I have 3. Eric's not watching this. I have 3 of my own. I have bought over the years. He knows I have a bunch of incubators. Anyway, but I have 3 different types of them. I have like the yellow one, I have the white one, and then I have my oldest white one. It's like kind of a square, and they all do different things. And a couple of them actually haven't been working that great, but I think it's how often you use it, how frequently you use it as well. Some of the newer incubators, I think are not. I think it's really about how often you use it and how well you clean it afterwards, because
Yes.
that motor,
Oh.
there's little okay, so one of the things Miss Sandy said was, right, when the baby hatches, you're gonna leave that baby in there for I have left babies in there for up to 48 hours, actually. You can leave
I
them
do
up for
48. Mhm.
you can leave them for 24, and then at 24, you need to give them a little bit of water.
Mhm.
Give 'em a little water. So I give mine some water, and then I will put them back in there with a little cup of water or a little something, just kinda give them some water, and then I pull it out. They only need a little bit of something to drink, but, I leave them in there until I mean, they're fully fluffed. The only reason why I've left them in there
Yeah.
48 hours is because I didn't have a brooder separate for them, at the time, and I wanted them to by leaving one in there, little chickie Timmy will encourage all his little siblings to hatch out.
Oh,
So
okay.
you always want to leave one little guy in there because he'll just walk around and be like, beep, 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 beep. And then everybody else will be like, oh, I want to come to the party.
Right.
Okay.
And that will encourage them. They literally do.
Yeah.
Plus, because they are social, they really are social and they want to be around one another. I use incubators too sometimes when I have sick chicks. If I have a chicken that's gotten attacked or it needs to be separated or it's wet, it's gotten damp or something like that, I will literally bring it in, put it in a warm incubator, and I have watched
Yeah.
chickens come back to life in incubators.
Yeah.
But my incubators get a hurting put on it. My life is an
Okay.
incubator. I I only have 3, and then one of them's not technically mine, but it's like given anyway. But yeah, I use mine a lot. I was banned
Well,
from using it last year as much as I normally do.
well, I will say also when you order, if you order it from the Amazon,
Mhm.
when I ordered mine, they do ask now, do you want a warranty? And it's 3 or 5 year warranty that you can get it. The 3 year is like $5.95, and the
Worth
5 year
it.
is like almost $8. It is worth
Yeah.
getting that warranty
Oh, I
because
thought you said $5.95, like $595, and I ain't
no,
buying that
no,
one.
I was like,
$5.95.
yeah,
$6.
worth
I
it.
don't know.
It is worth it
Yep.
because I have had to send in my incubator once, and that was because I didn't properly clean it out because you don't know. I think there should be more videos on YouTube on how to properly clean out that incubator
Yeah.
after you hatch
Yeah.
all the chickens, because it gets nasty.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when I was doing incubating, our friend Lisa over at Yogi Hollow, she has like a lockdown. Monica knows she's like super locked down,
Yeah. I
48
touch mine too
hours.
much.
Nobody comes out, and you get from a wet little thing, chicken,
Mhm.
to this little chicken nugget fluff
Yeah.
ball.
Fluff balls.
They're
Yes.
so cute.
What
But
if I get like 8 roosters? Ginger said she had 80% hatch rate, and it was even 90% sometime, and 80% of the 90% turned out to be roosters. That's just
Yeah, that's called life,
It,
Miss Ann.
yeah,
You'll get that many.
yeah.
You eat
And
them.
then sometimes you'll get all girls. You
that
know?
would be good.
Yeah.
And you
We
don't know
actually
you-
ended up doing that
either.
last year with our turkeys. We wanted boys, and we had so
not
many.
all girls.
And then all the ones that lived, all the boys decided they wanted to like give up their life early. And all the ones that lived were girls minus 3 boys. I need one to keep doing his
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And the other 2 we took for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we had to process a girl. That was the first time we had to process a girl in 3 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
Well, one thing to think of,
Mhm.
that you want to incubate your eggs, and you got to have the rooster and the hen. But if that rooster is just a little more too aggressive,
yeah.
that those girls are already fertilized and those eggs are good for 10, 14 days. You can always take the rooster out of there for a while so those girls have some quiet
Okay.
Oh,
time.
rest.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just that way. And I've known people that have had to have chicken dinner or from that
right.
rooster because of the aggressiveness of it.
Right.
So you got to have this balance,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you're going to get eggs from those girls no matter what. It's just
Mhm.
how many eggs can you incubate,
Right.
or you want
Yeah,
to
no,
incubate.
I don't want to incubate a whole bunch. Just
But
Yeah.
remember, so sometimes you want to do a little bit more than you would expect to. Because if you
Mhm.
only want, let's just say you only want 5 or 6, you just want to replace 5 of the girls, right? You have 5 girls, they're getting a little older. You just want to replace the 5. You have to overcompensate a little bit, right? You're gonna have to put in 20 eggs. Okay. And yes, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna put 20 eggs in. You'll get, let's just say you
15.
get 15. Maybe you get super fortunate and you get 20 eggs hatch out of that 20. I mean 18 eggs hatch out of that 20. Out of the 18 that hatch, you're probably going to lose 1 or 2 off the bat. Maybe not. If you do, you're down to 15 or so. You're going to get half of them are going to be boys. 7 out of, you're looking at 7 or 8 boys, 7 or 8 girls. Now you pick your favorite 5. You pick the ones that are sweet, the ones that are a little more gentle with you. You pick the ones that are a little more friendly, the one that hops in your hand. You're like, that's mine. You pick the one that you like. I mean, that's just reality. You pick your favorites and the rest of them you sell or you eat.
Yeah.
And that's another reality of it.
It is.
That's one of our topics on our spinning wheel
Yeah.
is continuous meat. And that's how you get continuous meat. Now, are
Yes.
those roosters going to be as big as meat chickens? No, but they will be good to can into some chicken soup or shredded chicken. And that's how you continually have that meat. As Monica said, you put the 20 eggs in, one decides to out itself, and we're all down now to 15 eggs.
Okay.
7 are roosters. Okay, you got 7 quarts of chicken already. There were 6 quarts. You
Yeah.
got 1 to continue. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a great way to never have to go to the grocery store and spend the ridiculous prices that they're asking for chicken.
Well, the chicken is not chicken anymore, so
No.
And not to mention, you don't have to wait for that rooster to cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay. You're going to be able to tell before he starts crowing most of the time.
okay.
So what you do is you section them off, you tag them little suckers, and you watch the clock. And okay, they're going to start crowing at such and such by this date. And you're
About 17 weeks, I've noticed.
You're going to be smart and you're going to be like, all right, between 3 and 4 months, I got to get rid of these suckers. So you're going to mark it. They were born in April. So that means May, June, July. I got to get rid of them by the end of July or I'm going to be in trouble because someone's going to hear some roostering over here.
I'm not supposed to have
So you
roosters.
just mark it down. And by mid-July, you're done with the roosters and you have a day. And even if they're smallish, it doesn't matter. Because you know why? Because lots of birds are small. Okay. Just because they're small doesn't mean they're not good. It's fine.
Okay.
You might still have to. Yes, sickle feathers come out quicker than the crows from the rooster. Yes, they will. They will. You'll know.
Okay. And Paul
so-
Cayce said chickens are my emotional support animals. Well,
fried chicken is.
Now, I want to ask Monica and Sandy,
Well, I don't know.
When have y'all learned to notice whether it's a hen or a rooster? I was told at 3 weeks you can 90% tell whether it's a hen or a rooster at 3
Well, how
weeks.
do they do it? I mean, at Tractor Supply, you go in there and they say it's been sexed.
Let's not get on Tractor Supply because
They
Okay.
get a lot of times you get sex link chickens. When you
Yeah.
get sex link chicken, they have different markings on them. You can tell right away if they're boys or girls.
yeah.
I don't really care about that. I don't care if they're roosters or hens because I don't mind because I can keep what I want. So I don't know.
In some breeds, the the wing feathers are longer in certain sections
Yeah.
of that wing on a boy than they are on a girl. So
Right.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, people that like Murray McMurray, those people have done so many baby
Mhm.
chicks.
Yeah.
And still sometimes they're wrong, but for the most part, they're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I think it just depends. The more you are around those babies versus getting chickens that are farther along, the easier it is for you to tell if it's a boy or girl. And some breeds, it's easier to tell
Yeah.
if it's a boy or a girl.
I'll tell you,
Okay.
American breast is very easy, and that's the eggs you'll get from me are American breasts. And by 4 weeks, you can tell because the boys' legs get blue faster. So
Oh.
when their legs start turning blue, you're like, you a dude.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we can't have dudes here at the Andale Homestead.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
And it's easy. You just mark them and you just
Uh-huh.
move on. You say, okay, that one's I will not get that one attached. I will not get attached to that one. That's
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
do. And I mean, because look, I mean, how was easy Elijah? I mean, Simeon, he was what, 9 years old coming to your farm, Cayce,
Yep.
helping you decide, hey, that one's a girl, that one's a girl, that one's a boy, that one's probably a girl. I mean, you can tell when you're looking at certain ones, especially if you've been around them enough.
Okay.
And I'll leave that video down because it actually is a very good video. Monica and Simeon came to my farm and helped me sext my
No.
he helped me sex my turkeys. And he was amazing. Like he was better than me, a grown adult.
Because he's been around turkeys for so long and
Mhm.
that's his animal, right? That's his one he follows through and he'll look and say, okay, that one's looking like it's got a bigger comb or that little wattle's coming in or that one's getting a beard. And so he can look at a turkey and tell. Chickens and ducks, not much. Ducks are easy to tell if it's a boy or girl. Ducks, once they get to that age, they'll start girls will quack and the boys will whap, 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 and they'll just make the little raspy sound. So when it comes to ducks, if you ever hear a quacking duck, a loud quacker, that's a girl. Boys don't sound like that.
Oh, you
And they
mean
have little
like
curls on their tail.
like white ducks?
There's any duck. If you hear a duck and it's whack, 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 that's a girl. Always. That's a girl.
Well, mallards, the girls and the boys, the mallards, because the mallards are the colorful ones and the girls are just brown. And
Yeah.
because we have them come in the backyard,
Yeah.
they all are quackers.
And
Well,
chickens, the boys are always going to be prettier colors too. I've noticed that
Yeah.
that boys are going to be prettier looking the colors than the girls. The girls are going to be more
Yep.
subdued.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and that's a lot of it in nature is like that.
Mhm.
right. All right. So Sandy, I get my eggs. I do I set up the incubator first to get like the humidity right and all that
I
stuff?
think so. I think you should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I set up the humidity, the thing.
Yeah.
Then I get ready to play the incubator. Then I get ready to place the eggs in there.
Right.
And the 21 days for chickens starts then. Is that right? And you can candle them at like 6 to 10 days. After 14 days, if you candle them and you don't see nothing, then it ain't going to be nothing and you need to get it out of there, right?
I think you should wait a little bit longer than that, but
Okay.
I leave mine in. I look at mine though. I'm not a hands-off gal. That's just me. I can't. I'm too touchy with it. I watch them because they rotate. So I watch. If I see a crack, then we will talk. But as long as they're not cracked, I keep them in there. I mean, if 21 days is the little bing, they should be cracked out and hatched. I'll leave mine until they're like 28 days. And I'll be like, all right, you definitely not coming now. Like I leave mine a week later because I'm like, something might be off. I'm not nature.
Yeah.
I'm not God.
right.
And just because I'm incubating eggs, I don't pretend to be God. I'm going to let the Lord work this out for me. So I leave mine in there too. It looks like Sandy's with me on that one. I leave mine in there. Do you leave yours in there the whole time?
I do, because I don't touch mine or open it very often. I mean,
I'm bad.
It's just preference, you know. I mean, I'm really dry where I am in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And every time I would open that, then that humidity has to build itself back up.
Yeah.
Where you're probably more humid than I am.
We're very humid.
And so I think that makes a difference. And and is your new one, does it rotate?
I think so. It looks like it does. And it's got
Because
really
that is a
good-
lifesaver, having it rotate. You know,
I'm pretty sure it does. Days, light up, temperature, humidity, blah blah blah, blasey blasey blah. Egg turning slot. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, we have a certain amount of days, but if you bought them through the mail, how many days was it from when they hatched to you got to your house? So there's always a fluctuation on that total amount of days sometimes. And it's really cool when you get eggs in the mail. They got this styrofoam, they got these holes in the styrofoam, and the eggs sit right down in there.
That's so cool.
And if you get quail eggs in the mail, it's all these little tiny holes and all these little tiny cute quail eggs in there. And people that can't have chickens can usually get away with quail because they're not as noisy. They lay like crazy. I mean, it is smaller, but I like quail eggs.
Yeah. Okay.
And quail meat is good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember, I never forget watching Jake from Nunny, Texas on the Back 20. He literally went out for one of these collaborations he did. He said, "Excuse me, let me go to the grocery store." And he walked out his door, walked down to his pasture where his quails were, reached inside, grabbed a quail and said, "Time to go back inside." And he pulled the quail out of the cage, walked inside. And then the next thing you know, you see the quail being eaten on his plate made. And I'm like, that's the freshest meat you can go with. I mean, but they're small, but they're very high in protein. Like they're really good for you. Yeah. And you can eat one quail, whereas you're buying stuff in the store and it's packed with so much, it's so nutrient dense that you're not going to eat a lot of it.
No.
Okay.
You only need so much to fill you up. When you're eating good nutrient dense food.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Christine said, Christine from Mrs. Gillen Farm says somebody needs to tell her husband she needs some eggs in the mail for Valentine's Day.
Just come down and get some farm eggs from me, Christine.
Okay, I have a really weird question that might gross people out, but I want to know. So you have your 20 eggs in the incubator, and 15 of them hatch, and you go 26 days and you still got 5 in there and they're not going to hatch. Can you eat them? Those eggs?
No, but I thought you were going to ask if you could open them up, because
don't do that.
You don't want to open them either, because it's like leaving eggs out in the heat or something, right? You're heating those eggs. So they just basically
cooked sort of.
They're getting rotten inside.
Rotten. Yeah.
Really? So the only time I've ever opened up eggs that have been in my incubator is when I've had an egg that looked viable, meaning it has the check mark at 10 days and it keeps going and I'm seeing movement, and they go into that final few days and then all of a sudden it doesn't hatch. I see no more movement and it's gone. At the very end, poultry will give up their life at the very end sometimes. Sometimes they struggle to get out. Sometimes they'll pip that little crack and they just take too long to hatch.
They get too tired.
They get exhausted.
And you can't help them, right? You're not supposed to help them.
Monica does.
Why you throw me out of the bus, Casey?
Because I did it once. Now listen, story time. So Monica, when I FaceTimed her the first time I incubated, I was like, no, what do you do if you see them starting to pick? Like, I've heard that you shouldn't help them out. They need to do it survival of the fittest.
Because you hurt them or something.
Monica says, nah, brah. I open it up, I crack that egg, I pull them out, and I put them back in the incubator. We had one that he pecked, and he just could not get it through. And I'm watching it like every hour. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
It would be so hard to not help.
So I pulled it out. I cracked the egg. Very easily you can peel the eggshell away from the chick.
You have to be very gentle.
Very, very
You have
gentle
to
with
really
it.
know what you're doing.
And we put him down, and he survived. And he was a boy. He ended up being a boy, even though I wanted to keep him. We had to
Let him go.
Yeah,
let him go.
Sometimes we still don't make it, but
Mhm.
I can't not try.
Right.
Yeah, but don't be surprised. Like sometimes they'll peck through,
Oh yeah.
and then they have to go to sleep for a while. It was
Yeah.
a lot of work, just because you have to give it some time. Let them do what they're supposed to do.
Like
But if
how
it's
much?
well, if you know, say he's pecking away, she's pecking away, and then she goes to sleep for a few hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's okay.
Yeah.
But if it
Okay.
looks like it's taking way too long, help it.
Yeah.
oh, I'm good at that. I'm good at helping.
So what happens is when a chick is ready to hatch, they have like a little, it's called an egg tooth. It's at the tip of their beak. And that's only there for when they pip. And that's there only so they can break through the inner membrane. And once it breaks through the inner membrane, now they're like using that air sac and they're breathing in that air and they're trying and trying and trying. And
Right.
finally, after they break through the air sac, which you can see if you candle it when you're not supposed to, then you can see they break through the air sac. Now, if you're watching that and you don't put it on lockdown, you can see that they break through the air sac and sometimes they die before they can break through the shell. But not on my watch. Not on my watch. I'm
Oh.
cracking a little hole in there because I'm too hands-on for people. But then they pip. They make a little, it's a little triangle shape usually, boop, and they pip through the shell.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's where they're like, bro, this is exhausting. I mean, it's like labor. They have to get from point A to point B. You can't just be like, oh, the baby's starting. I've got to go from 0 to 10 now. That doesn't happen.
Right.
It takes time. That baby is hatching. It is a labor.
Okay.
It is a thing. So we have to remember that all chicks are laboring through that moment where they have to bust through that egg, and they have to simultaneously pip in one area, and then they have to cut. They're spinning in their egg. They have to cut an entire opening for themselves. They will make an open. They will pip around the whole top of the shell so they can pop out. If you ever watch hatching videos, you'll see there's almost like a scoring. They score that entire
Right.
Okay.
and then they pop out. They can't just do that if they're in one spot. They have to rotate.
Yeah.
around.
Right.
So they're
When
moving.
does
It
their
is
little thingy on their beak go away? The
Like
little so
day
that they
two.
can-
It just goes
Oh,
away.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. It just bloop, you're like looking, you're like, oh, it's gone now. So that's actually another way to tell too. If a mama hen comes out of her coop and she's like, look at me, and she's got all these babies, and you're like, girl, how long you been hiding them babies? If you see some with like the little egg tooth on their nose, you'll know, okay, you got a few newbies in there. You've been hiding them for too long. That's usually how I tell. And my girls don't get too much shame. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. So you have to give them some time.
Yeah. If you're a homesteader out there and you're listening to us, incubating eggs and selling those chicks can be a great addition to your homestead, money wise. My friend in Missouri, she has started that, and she is seriously has such a demand for fertilized eggs that she's actually hatching, and she's just getting great reviews from doing it.
Okay, that's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I want to go through the process though.
Oh, you should
try it. And I think that this time will be good, because it'll be an and thing. Worth won't be around while they're forming and stuff. With his medication, he's not supposed to be around anything that's forming.
Right.
But even I know. Okay. Second question. After they come out of because we gotta go. We've been here almost an hour and we still have some more segments to go. But real quick, do I have to have a special brooder when I get them out? I mean, last time I had a Walmart bucket with a net across and a heat lamp that stuck on a chair.
Sounds good.
Yep. Check. Done.
Yep.
Check.
That's the brooder.
Because this is a good time. Because by the time I spring, summer comes around,
Yes,
they might
ma'am.
be laying.
Now, can I say before we do this, I was reached out to by a company called the Little Red Barn. Have any of y'all heard of the Little Red Barn brooder?
No.
Mm-mm.
I'll leave a link down below.
Mm.
I haven't decided on it yet, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a plastic one that folds up and down, and you can
Ooh.
put like the water and feeder and everything.
Oh, I've seen that. I mean,
So
I've seen it
it's
on
popular
other
on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
mhm.
Nice.
And because
Thank
let
you,
me tell
honey.
you, my chicks, the ones that I have now, easily learned day 2 how to escape during the night when everybody's asleep and just sit on top of the thing. And then when you come in the morning to feed and you're like, wait, why are you on top of my brooder? They're like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, brah. I'll get back in.
Yeah.
They'll be walking around
do?
your house and yes, walking, just chilling, living life.
Yeah,
You
they
walk
just
in your
hop
house.
right up onto
Yeah.
the edge of a, like if you have them in a tub or
I have them in a
a
tub. I mean, I
horse
have.
trough or whatever, and you got all these little baby
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. Yeah, no, see, I have a Walmart, like a big plastic tub that I cut a square out in the middle, so it does have. And then I laid a net over top of the bucket and
Mhm.
closed the lid on it, so
Yeah.
that there's netting
Mesh
and a
and stuff
ridge
there.
around
Yeah.
it, kind of
Yep.
thing. So it's a little bit harder for them.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody escape that time, but
I have to have a cover on mine because I have found chicks in the brooder hanging out with my cat. The cat will
Oh.
just jump in and be like, "Oh, this heat lamp's for me, right?" And I'm like, "Not for you." And then there's like chicks like off in the corner, like,
Ah!
so, yeah. And I'm like, that's actually not going to work. So yeah, if you have cats, P.S., make sure you have a brooder with a top.
Yes.
gosh, I forgot about the puppy. I do have
Yeah.
a puppy.
Well, and that's how you
the-
train your dogs too, not to attack, where your
Right.
cat's not to attack your little baby animals. And that is the next part of being magical, training your other animals to acknowledge that these are also your animals
Right.
and they deserve respect.
Right.
So,
Yeah. She's been real good with the big chickens, but she's she's a piece of work. Okay. Anyway, this has been